frigid deluge. Yesterday, the captain had rationed the ship's coals, leaving us without hot water. I already couldn't stomach any more lukewarm porridge. I looked down at my fingers on Ryder's back. They were eternally pruned, like little raisins. He heaved again, and down the bow a couple feet, a Peridot woman in a weather-beaten wool cloak followed suit. Though I was lucky not to suffer from seasickness, the same couldn't be said for the rest of the passengers. The stomach-turning sounds of retching echoed at all hours of the day and night. I offered care to whomever I could, but without my light there wasn't much to do. I hadn't offered any help to Kane, though. I'd watched him climb a rickety set of stairs with ease a single day after being pierced through the chest by a spear of ice. He'd scaled them 2 at a time, nimble, strong, lively even. And yet, he had needed me to heal him so critically that day in the Shadowhold infirmary. All lies, more and more lies. My head swam with them. I waited for the instinctual rush of fear to ripple through me when I thought of the fate he'd kept from me all those months. The prophecy that foretold my death at Kane's own father's hands. But I felt nothing. I had felt nothing for days. After a lifetime of too much fear and tears and worry, now I couldn't muster anything at all. With one final dry heave, Ryder slumped down against the metal and sucked in a deep breath. "That has to be the last of it. There's nothing left in my stomach to vomit up." I frowned. A lovely mental image. His answering smile was weak. But in my mind, a memory was unfurling. One of a slow autumn evening, silent save for the sounds of wind rustling among the weeds outside my home. I'd been sick after eating something moldy. Powell's leave no scrap behind mentality at work, and my mother had rubbed my back in steady sweeps, calming me as I purged. I could have healed myself then, but chose not to. I liked how it felt to have her comfort me. I liked her hand on my shoulder, her quieting words. Lee had been born recently, and both Ryder and I missed being the sole objects of her affection. It was such a selfish, childish thing to do, to retch for an hour rather than heal my own illness, just to keep her by my side in the chilly evening air, away from her new baby, husband, and son. But it felt so good to be cared for. And now I fell asleep every night wondering who the woman even was. Had she found me on the road one day? Had someone forced her to raise me? And if so, where in the world were my real parents? They were both full-blooded Fae, so most likely living in another realm. A melting one of parched earth and ash, governed by a tyrant. Feeling any better? My attention snapped to Mari, wandering over wrapped in a thick fur cloak. She'd raided the ship on our first night, and somehow found the most fashionable pieces aboard. But even her elegant new pelt couldn't hide the way her copper hair clung in wet ringlets to her face, or the icy drops that showered her nose and near-blue lips. At the sight of her, Ryder straightened and folded his hands confidently across his chest. "Right as this rain, barely even sick." He inclined his head toward the Peridot woman still heaving down the deck. "It's all these other folk I feel sorry for." He vomited the entire contents of his stomach out and then some, I said to Mari. Ryder glared at me, and Mari gave him a compassionate frown. "Sorry to hear it. This storm is unrelenting." "Yeah, well..." We sailed over another swell, and Ryder turned pale, clutching at his stomach. I am going to go talk to someone about that. Right now." He dashed for the other end of the ship and out of eyesight. Mari lifted a brow at me. "Talk to someone about the storm?" I shook my head. He's too proud. "I think it's sweet that he's embarrassed. Here." She produced a small glass vial from her skirts. "Give him this. It's steel of the stomach." Isn't that potion used for undertakers? After I'd read the book on flowers.